Welcome to Unafraid Living, the podcast that helps you fear less and live more. I'm Kim. I'm here to ask the questions you're probably thinking.
And I'm Coach Suzette, a certified brain health professional and life coach. I'm passionate about helping you quiet fear, build confidence, and live the life you truly want. Hey friends, Suzette here, your brain health professional. If fear or anxiety has been ruining your life lately, our Unafraid course was built for you. The Unafraid course helps you retrain your brain to move out of fear and into resilience, one small shift at a time with proven, practical, and simple tools. Affordable options let you work at your own pace or join me in our private community, all for less than most therapy sessions. No more excuses. Be your own advocate and sign up for the course at unafraidcourse.com to start rewiring your brain today.
Welcome to our very first episode of Unafraid Living.
Woohoo!
We're very excited to get this started for a number of reasons. The biggest reason would be to help everyone to live with less fear. And we're going to start off with something a little fun, and we're going to call it a brain check. So, Suzette, how's your brain?
Actually, pretty good today. Yeah, I'm excited and looking forward to something. So that's always good for the brain.
Absolutely.
You know, sometimes I wake up with brain fog or whatever, but this morning I woke up and I went, 3 days till I'm leaving on this fun trip. So yeah.
Yeah, so your brain is pretty happy,
yes,
I would say.
It is. How about yours, Kim?
It's doing pretty good. I'm excited for you. I really can't wait to see your photos and hear all the fun stories. And I'm also excited to get moving on this project. You guys don't know, but we've been working on this for a while. We've been planning, we've been editing podcast episodes, all kinds of stuff. And we're starting to make some headway. So you guys will hear this once it's all good and ready to go. But for now, I'm getting excited. We're making some progress. So my brain's pretty good too.
Yay. We're off to a good start.
Yeah. On this first episode, we would like to share with you a little more about what Unafraid Living is and who Coach Suzette is. So let's start out by having Suzette share a little bit about herself.
Well, I am a life coach. I've been a coach, a board certified coach. That means that you can, go into Microsoft and coach or, wherever. I've got all the creds. The other thing that I do, and I'm very, very passionate about, is brain health coaching. And my title is Brain Health Professional. I really, really prefer Brain Health Coach because I don't think it's really valuable to learn all about the brain. I mean, I'm glad people know all about the brain and how it works, but it's not super valuable when it comes to making the changes in your life to know that, oh, it's my amygdala doing this. And it's good knowledge, but it's not helpful for making the changes. That's why I like Brain Health Coach. That's my passion as far as my work goes. I've always been interested in the brain. When I say always, from the time I was early 20s, my son had seizures, and we went to a naturopathic neurologist. Of all things, I found that way back then. He's 34 now.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought it was voodoo at the time, but oh my goodness, I was fascinated and learning how the brain worked. And he figured out that Caleb was low on GABA. And so that supplement did wonders for his brain. And to this day, he stopped having seizures and didn't take the GABA for a long time. But that GABA, it helps him to live life unafraid, right?
I see what you did there.
Yeah, right. Because it slows the neurons down and makes them not fire too fast. When they're too excitable, it causes all kinds of problems. So yeah, been interested in the brain for a very long time. And then for myself personally, I did pretty well, as far as I didn't think I had any brain issues. Little did I know, until I had a brain scan, that I have severe ADD. I kind of suspected it, but I did fine in school. I just apparently, according to the doctor, know how to just intuitively manage my ADD. But when they looked at my brain, they were like, you have an ADD brain.
Wow.
Yeah. And he asked all about my life. And this intuitive thing in me is what has given me the ability to be able to function and accomplish what I've wanted to accomplish in life. And I think probably that's what has made me a better coach, especially for people who have had brain issues, because I intuitively was doing things, not necessarily realizing it, but able to share and help other people manage their symptoms as well.
Did this include things like supplements or medications or therapies?
For me, absolutely. I did a lot of supplementation. I also had a lot of other things going on with my brain. We had mold, a very bad mold issue. I had a brain scan and they told me that I had mold in my brain. And they said, well, it's not definitive until you go get some other tests done. Everything came out positive. Yes. And literally, we did the brain check earlier. Back then, my brain was terrible. Every day I felt like I was in a brain fog. I could not think clearly for literally years. And it was so hard. So yes, supplements have helped tremendously. I did a lot of essential oils, detoxing. So those kinds of things have helped me in a big, big way.
So those actually work.
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. I don't know how much of this needs to be said, but I had late stage Lyme. It was discovered already when it was almost in stage 4.
Wow.
So getting that under control has helped so much.
I can imagine.
I live a great life, and most people that go that far don't.
I want to say how lucky, but it sounds like you actually made that happen.
Oh, so much work.
Yeah. What kind of training gives you the certifications to be an actual brain health professional?
Right. Well, I went through the program that Dr. Daniel Amen has. It's called Amen University, if you want to look it up. The professional certification was open for a while to coaches as well. And they've closed it off to just people in the medical profession.
Gotcha.
So psychiatrists, psychologists, anybody that's in that field that's certified therapist. But at the time, I was a coach and I was able to take it.
How lucky.
I know. That was really, really just amazing that I got to do that. I will tell you that he was speaking to people, like it was all online. And so in the audience, it was people that were doctors and neuroscientists and stuff. So there were some things that were over my head.
Sure.
But it didn't matter. I got so much out of that course. It was a long course. I don't remember how many hours, 90 hours or something like that.
Wow.
But it was very, very enlightening. And after I took it, I knew what I wanted to do. I was like, I have to share this stuff.
Awesome. He's an awesome person anyway. Right. I've watched many of his TED Talks and his podcasts, and he's just fascinating to me.
He is. He does a lot of shorts, and he used to be on PBS. I learned about him probably 25 years ago because my dad was really into his PBS specials.
That's so fun. All right, so let's get back to brain health. What does that mean, and why are we talking about brain health when it comes to Unafraid living?
Well, if your brain isn't healthy, you cannot live in a way that is satisfying in any way. You're usually pretty unhappy. You don't accomplish much, and you feel terrible. I mean, it affects every system in your body. So brain health, it's not just about functioning well cognitively, but functioning well as an organ. So it's got to be healthy in every way. And so getting it healthy in the physical way includes a lot of things. So Dr. Amen is way into doing the natural way. So getting the toxins out of your life, too much alcohol. He says no alcohol. Moderation,
right.
And things like that can really do a number on our brains. Even too much processed food. By changing things like that, I mean, we know they took red dye off the market for a reason,
right?
And it was affecting especially children's brains. But there's a lot of other things. There are so many chemicals in our foods today that are not legal in other countries. So many, last I heard, it was over 1,000. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
It's just not right. So brain health is a physical function. It is also a mental function. So if you're in thought loops that are negative, they will drag you down, and they actually can cause physical changes too.
Right.
Right? You've got to see it both ways, physical and mental. And then there's a spiritual element as well. When we're talking about brain health, it's not just the absence of disease. It's not just cognitive function like thinking clearly and focus and learning or remembering or solving problems and making decisions. Those are all cognitive things. But it's also things like emotional regulation, neuroplasticity, the ability to change your brain, because it is always changing one direction or the other until the day you die. Mental energy and motivation, and then protecting it. So that's the physical part of protecting your brain. So it's a lot of things all wrapped up in brain health.
Let me ask you this. Why do we want people to fear less and live more?
Why would you want to fear less and live more?
Because a better life. It's just a better life to not live in fear. And I feel like pretty much with everything that is negative in our life, whether you think it is or not, it all comes down to fear. Mm-hmm. So if we learn how to control our mind and live in a place of less fear, we will live more happy, more fun, more.
I like that. Yes. Yeah. And I think too that fear, sometimes we really just don't want to do that thing. Mm-hmm. So we're afraid and we just don't want to do it. But so often fear comes from, I want to do that thing, but I'm too afraid to do that thing. And so that's really when you can get over that hurdle, it makes a world of difference in the joy that you experience in life.
What would you say are some common misconceptions people have when it comes to brain health?
That is a great question. But I think mostly people just never think about it. I mean, how often we think about mental health?
Yes.
But rarely do we think about the organ of the brain. As a matter of fact, it's the one organ that doctors treat all the time, never looking at it. Very, very few people have any sort of brain scan before they're put on medication. That's not usually the case.
That's right.
With any other organ. Mm-hmm. And so it's a little bizarre, and it shouldn't be that way. That's why so many people have such poor results with medications, because it's all trial and error. They don't really know what's going on. I think also people don't realize that they can change the brain, that it actually isn't fixed, that there is a growth mindset that we can adopt. Mm-hmm. It's not we're born with it or we're not born with it. We can adopt a growth mindset. And that changes how we feel about life when we realize that I can grow, I can get better, I can learn, I can do things that I can't do right now. Brain healthy lifestyle choices are one of the most effective ways to improve brain health, and I don't think people realize that either.
Well, what are some of these lifestyle changes people can make? Just give us a couple of examples.
Okay, well, Dr. Amen works with a lot of football players and celebrities known for drugs and alcohol. They destroy your brain. So that's one way. It's the first thing that you would need to do if you want to have a brain healthy life. The next thing would be eating right and exercising. It's basically the things that we've always heard for physical health, but it applies to mental health too. Getting outside, having great conversations with people that in a circle of people where you trust. So community, having a group where you trust, you can speak openly and they can speak into your life. There's just so many things that you can do for a brain healthy life. Those are just a few.
Thank you. That's very helpful. And I'm sure we'll explore a lot more of these in the coming episodes. Do you ever struggle with things like anxiety or negative thinking, even as a coach?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Not so much anymore. I'm not suggesting anybody else do this, but one of the things that was discovered in my brain scan, and I took that brain scan, or I had that brain scan because I went through the program. It wasn't because I was in such a funk, but they discovered many things about my brain. I think I've told you 2 of the 3 already, but the third thing was that I have got some things going on in my cingulate gyrus, making me have some thought loops that weren't so good.
Right, you're pulling out some of those big words.
Yeah, just once in a while. That's what they were looking at in the scan. That's the only reason I said it. Is so what they could see, and what I could have told them had he asked the question, is he'd said, do you struggle with negative thought loops? I would have probably asked for clarification on what that meant. And he would have said, it means when you have the same recurring thought over and over again. And I would have gone, oh, duh, of course that's what that means. And then I would say, yes, I do. And like things that I know that they're negative. I know that if I focus on other things that I have a better day. But yet those things, wake up thinking them. And he said, is that usually in the morning? And I said, yeah. It's like I wake up, that's one reason I take a shower, is to go do my self-talk. And he goes, oh, one more tool that you do to change your brain. And that is self-talk. Self-talk's huge. He said, but you might actually wake up feeling better, not need that shower, only take the shower because you need to, if you were to get on a supplement. And I did, and oh my word, that has really changed things for me. So I'm on supplements for that and also for ADD.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. Maybe we'll get into that a little later in some episodes. I just have to ask you, what excites you the most about doing this podcast?
I want other people to experience the same life-changing kinds of things that I have. I am so excited to be able to reach more people. Coaching is great, but it's one-on-one.
Right. It seems like that's probably something that you are, well, I know for sure you're good at helping people. You're very understanding and open, and you're not judgmental. You are very open to helping, and the easiest, nicest way.
Oh, thank you.
I know people call you Mrs. Rogers.
Right?
We haven't mentioned this yet, but you have a course.
Yes, it's unafraidcourse.com. That's where you can go if you like what you're hearing here and you think, oh, I'd like to learn the tools that she has in her back pocket, and I can't afford coaching. The course is an amazing place to start. You can work the course at your own pace and in community.
We hope that if you have any questions that you will reach out to us. There is an email set up. It's Suzette at unafraidliving.com. Feel free to reach out, ask questions, let us know if there's something that you want to hear about that maybe we're not talking about.
Oh, that would be great.
Thank you again for joining us. We hope you're walking away with something that helps you feel a little calmer, a little more confident, and a lot more free.
And if you're ready to go beyond just listening and start living unafraid, come join me in the Unafraid course. You'll find all the details at unafraidcourse.com.
And follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. And be sure to check all the show notes for any links.
Your brain is listening, so fear less, keep calm, live more, and listen on.